Good morning. Not really morning. Hello, everybody. I hope that we are doing well today. I hope we're doing well today. I hope we're hanging in there. Uh, hey, Torg. Hey, Astral. Hey, Eggy. How you doing? I hope that you're doing well. It's morning somewhere, so saying good morning kind of counts, right? Right, Shirley? I hope. Anyway, mm, I'm still on hiatus. I'm still on hiatus. I'm not back. And you may notice that given how frequently I stream before hiatus, and just generally over my past 5+ years on YouTube, there is no distinguishing factor between me being on a hiatus and not being on a hiatus. It's more a thing for my mental power. Like if I'm not on hiatus, streaming becomes like something I feel obligated to do. I think this is how I'm rationalizing what's going on in my head. When I'm not on hiatus, I feel like pressure to stream and make videos at a certain rate, right? And then thank you, it's the eye bags. The eye bags really bring out how piercing my eyes are. But yeah, so when I'm off hiatus, I feel a lot of pressure to, stream and make videos, which makes me very stressed out, and then makes it harder for me to work up the energy to stream and make videos. So, of course, naturally, the second I announced that I was going on hiatus, I gained the energy to do that. But I'm still trying to save up the energy, but I don't know. I think I have to get some stuff done today. And hey, Tyler, yeah, nice hiatus, right? Right? Isn't this hiatus going well? Maybe I should take off my fancy jacket because I'm on hiatus. I don't need to wear my sports coat when I'm on hiatus, but I have a lot of work to get done today. It's a really busy semester, which is part of why I went on hiatus in the first place. But normally I would go and work at a coffee shop, but I've been so overwhelmed lately. I think that I did go to a coffee shop to work today, and all that I did was I sat there with my laptop. I got an extra big drink, which I normally don't do, and I got a scone, and then I just stared at my laptop screen, eating my scone and drinking my latte until all my food and drink was gone, because I could not bring myself to do any work. Yeah, been there, Torque, right? So now I'm trying to, now that I'm home, of course I struggle to concentrate at home, so I'm using all of you. I'm using all of you. This is social facilitation, which I'm planning on doing a video about what social facilitation is soon in the context of Uma Musume, because they've somehow made social facilitation into a game mechanic, which is wild to me, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm using all of you to make me feel obligated to do work. Like, if you're here watching me, then I have to do work. The Hawthorne effect? I've never heard it referred to as the Hawthorne effect. Let me look for this. The Hawthorne effect. Human behavior activity where individuals modify an aspect of their behavior in response to being observed. Yeah, fair enough. What if we just distract you? I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. My main goals today are I am being observed. That was the point. And of course, if y'all want to work with me, you are more than welcome to. I can also like answer questions or whatever you want to do while we're doing this. We need a Mylan stare. I think I can amplify the. Oh no, I was clicked onto the wrong thing and I accidentally logged out of my. Does this count as a Mylan stare? Nothing ominous about this at all. I like this. I like this face. Let's do this face more often. But yeah, my goal today is my classes have an exam. Two of my classes have exams coming up, so I need to write the exams, and I hate writing exams. Spoopy for spoopy season, right? Man, if I had more mental energy, I would love to make like a Halloween model. Because I don't need to go into work on Halloween, because this year Halloween's a Friday, so I could stream on Halloween if I want. Maybe, I think last year we streamed a paper on Halloween about like Halloweeny things. I'm gonna help hand out candy at a friend's house, but maybe after that I can come back and like stream while we read a Halloween related paper. That sounds like a lot of fun. But for now, I think yeah, I'm gonna try and clear out my inbox, and I've got to write 2 exams. I'm halfway done with one of the exams, and I'm like probably 4/5 of the way done with the other exam. I just need the social pressure to push me over the edge. uh, yeah, as for what I've been doing all this time since I last streamed, which has it's been like a full month since I last streamed on YouTube. That's a ways. I've just been the semester started, so I've just been busy. I have a bigger teaching load than I normally do, and I have like some administrative appointments, and I took on like I'm mentoring or like I'm supervising an undergrad's like thesis project, and like I accepted, and like I'm doing some like other stuff. Like I'm writing a whole freaking model. Do I have to You can't send me money on YouTube. Please don't send me money. I don't need you to send me money. I'm fine. Like I said, I took on an extra class this semester, which means that I'm getting paid extra. I don't need extra money. I don't think I have things on Halloween, but it's a deadline for a massive chunk of That's evil. Why would somebody make something due on Halloween? Did I make something due on Halloween? God, I hope not. I try and avoid having stuff due on holidays if I can avoid it. I think there's like an optional assignment in one of my classes that's due on Halloween, but it is 100% optional, and students do not have to do it. Yeah, they don't have to. The scariest thing there is deadlines, right? Deadlines are terrifying. But yeah, I'm also writing a novel on the side, so that's what I've been overwhelming myself, and then I've been beating myself up because I haven't been drawing as much lately as well. Don't be like me. I have a problem. I have problems with productivity. Don't be like me. Mm. Hey, Pa, how you doing? Yeah, Mylan's stream jump scare. The stream that should not be happening right now, frankly. There's no reason this stream should be happening other than that I'm using all of you to peer pressure me into work. That's exactly what's happening right now. My first task is I gotta check over a survey that some of my students are gonna use to collect data for a class, which means I get to read the consent form. See, the secret is that most people do not read consent forms. I read consent forms. This is my secret. Oh, I like to think that I'm really good. Like if you ever need somebody to like look over a survey for you, I like to think that I'm a pretty good option because I'm pretty good at evaluating surveys. The only thing that I'm bad for when it comes to evaluating surveys is that I tend to complete surveys really quickly. So like I'm not good at estimating timing. Mylan's non-toxic trait is reading consent forms. I feel like that is a toxic trait. It's almost all the cool kids are working now. Don't you want to be cool? Right. Yeah, I read consent forms. This is what I do. If you gotta study, I will read the consent form for you. I will pilot your survey. I'm happy to pilot your survey for you. Actually, reading the forms is the most cryptid feature, and yet I still don't read the terms and conditions. I'll read the consent form, but I will not read the terms and conditions. uh, yeah, it's a neutrophil. Phi is all over the place today. It is always good to have Phi around. We are happy to see Phi. We enjoy talking to Phi. You're not the man who has taken 1,000 surveys, but the man who has read the consent form once. Fun fact, I'm both. I've definitely taken, I don't know if I've taken over 1,000 surveys, but I have taken hundreds of surveys. This is actually a hobby that I share with Sai. Sai and I both, like, complete surveys in our spare time. I don't know why she does it, but I complete surveys because, like, my hobby is completing social psychological surveys. Like parent like daughter. You used to do that too. I'm so glad. Fine. Oh yeah, is that our sample size? I've been recommending that to my students who need to collect data from participants. But I sign up for I sign up for survey, but yeah, our sample size is a subreddit where people will go to try and get participants. So if you want to participate in social psychology surveys or psychology surveys or whatever types of surveys, you can go there. And honestly, I think it's really fun. Like, I really enjoy participating in studies. Is that weird? But like I mostly do it through platform like survey platforms where you get paid to participate in surveys, which honestly I would do it completely for free. I don't really care about the payment. But yeah, I used to sign up for studies at school to gain a couple extra dollars. Yeah, it's a nice way to gain some little pocket change. You're not gonna make any like major amount of money on it, but I mean it does pile up over time. I think I've got nearly like about 80 bucks. I think I've got about 80 bucks from participating in surveys just on and off for a while now, sitting in an account. Oh, congratulations. Baby yeah. Another way to get pocket change is us sending you money. Please don't. It stresses me out. I'm on hiatus right now. I'm on hiatus. You can't. In fact, please do not reinforce the idea me streaming on hiatus. Don't reinforce that by sending me some form of reward for that. This is not healthy behavior and it should not be rewarded. I've been trying to participate in paid research studies to earn some money, but there aren't any here. Oh, Eggy! So there's some sites you can sign up for. The two major ones that I'm aware of is Prolific. Prolific will probably take a while to approve you, but Prolific is one survey platform. These are specifically for like online studies. Prolific and a lot of other people use something called Cloud Research. Prolific and Cloud Research are like the two main ones that social psychologists use to collect data online. I'm on one of those. I'm not going to tell you which one I'm on, but I'm on one of those, and I complete surveys through there. I get some weird surveys though, and I'm getting kind of annoyed because they keep like sending me like tasks that clearly aren't social psychology, like psychology surveys. They're clearly like some AI company trying to get me to do data classification for them, which pisses me off, but for a long time, Amazon Mechanical Turk was also a place where that happened, but it really hasn't been popular. Back in 2018, it had like a big problem with like bots and low quality responses and stuff. So the main difference between hiatus and not hiatus is whether you accept rewards. Maybe. Maybe. That might be it. Mm. Oh, that's why mTurk died? Yeah. Yeah, in 2018 there was a huge crisis where like people were having to like get rid of like 40 to 60% of their samples because people were either responding at random, they clearly were a bot doing things, it was somebody who did not speak English and was taking English surveys and stuff like that. Like the data quality on mTurk got so bad that like you would have to collect like at least twice as many responses as you actually needed to get the sample size you needed. That's the part I'm worried about online surveys. I don't know who is using the data I'm giving. I always specifically look for consent forms. I look for ones with consent forms, and usually they'll list the name of the lab or the researcher that's doing the research, and I can look them up if I need to. It's usually pretty obvious what is what. And like if you go into a study on one of those sites that doesn't have like a consent form from a university or something like that, you can just back out. Like I do that all the time. I'm pretty good at spotting them, but if I end up in a study where I'm not comfortable doing it, or like if it's not something that I feel like I'm qualified to do or whatever it is, I just drop out of the study, and that's totally fine. Yeah, hiatus shock collar stream. Oh no. Well, I mean, for a long time, mTurk was a really good place to collect data. I think like roughly between like 2013 and 2018, that sort of 5-year period there, mTurk was like the king of data collection online. It was really good for data collection online during that time period. Just like its reputation really got hurt from that. I used to be a participant on mTurk actually. And then mTurk kicked me off of mTurk because I went a couple of years without using mTurk, and they kicked me off. They're like, if you don't use this site consistently, Or like at least semi-consistently, we're gonna ban your account, which is a weird thing to do. Why ban the account? Like, and the worst part is they don't distinguish between like removing accounts for inactivity and banning them for fraud. Not doing your MTurk dailies, right? That was my problem. I wasn't doing my MTurk dailies. Oh god, thinking of it as a mobile game is so weird. Oh man. I'm so I wish studies stayed open for longer. I'm sorry, there was a really cool study that I was participating in, and I did like I did the screener, I did part one, and then part two popped up like a couple of months later, and I was too busy. I was too busy to do it. And then when I finally had time and went back to do it, it was all the data collection was already over, and I felt really bad because like now I'm missing data from their second time point, and like I was gonna do it, but just like they didn't keep it open long enough that I was able to get to it, and I'm like, oh, that's I feel bad. Actual mechanical Turks from the 1800s. I need to remind myself of what a mechanical Turk was. Was that one of those like chess playing machines? Yeah, the chess playing machines. The original VTuber. I think it's kind of a I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's kind of a cool thing. What are my thoughts on Amazon Mechanical Turk? It used to be a good place to collect data. It is no longer a good place to collect data. I'm mad that they banned me for inactivity, especially because it made it harder to get an account on Prolific. Prolific was like, hey, you got Prolific was like, hey, you were banned from another survey platform website. And I'm like, what? And it turned out they thought I'd been banned from MTurk just because my account was deleted for inactivity. And I contacted MTurk support, and MTurk support just never replied to me. And I was so mad about it. And eventually Prolific figured out that like, oh, I wasn't banned for bad behavior. I was just banned because I wasn't being like, I took a break from doing MTurk stuff. But I have a grudge against MTurk. MTurk is short for Amazon Mechanical Turk. Yeah. It's the same thing, just a short thing. Fits most definitions, I think. Hey, guys, how you doing? What are your thoughts on mechanical turkeys? What are you using the mechanical turkey for? Turkeys are scary. Have you ever, like, encountered a wild turkey? I used to drive around in a place where, like, wild turkeys would roam, and they would just stand in the street, and they did not care. What are my thoughts on turkey mechanics? I don't know that much about turkey mechanics, to be honest. But I know that I fear them. And also turkeys are yummy. I saw some wild chickens. I've never seen wild chickens. I've definitely seen like domesticated chickens. I used to live in a place that had like a lot of farms and stuff like relatively nearby, so I've seen a lot of domesticated chickens in my time, but not wild chickens. Eat that which you fear. There are many things, unfortunately, that I fear that are not edible, which is deeply unfortunate. This is why also this is why the clown from It. This is why the clown from Stephen King's It goes after children, because adults have abstract fears like taxes and dying alone and being hated and stuff. That's literally the canon reason that the clown in It went after, or well, not the clown. Like it's portrayed as a clown, but really the monster only sometimes was a clown. That's the reason why the thing in It went after kids mostly, because adults' fears were too abstract to go after most of the time. Fun fact. What are your thoughts on turkey mechs? I'd watch that show. I'd watch a show where the mechs were in the shape of turkeys. What did you eat for dinner? What did I eat for dinner? I made a burrito. I made a burrito last night. It was delicious. It was white rice and black beans and shredded cheese, and I cut up some little bits of yellow onion in there just for the crispiness. It was yummy. I'm sure Pennsylvania could have been taxes if you really Pennywise could have been taxes if you really put in the effort. I can't believe I forgot Pennywise's name. Like I've seen all of the It movies, both the original ones and the remakes, and I've read the entire book, and somehow I could not remember Pennywise's name. I think it's because he only uses the name, or well, she actually. Pennywise is a woman, or Pennywise is female rather. But I think it's because Pennywise only uses the name Pennywise when she's in clown form. Burrito with cheese is delicious, but where's the meat? I don't actually eat that much meat. Pennywise is gender fluid. That's a great question. I think Pennywise, at least in terms of gender expression, is whatever gender is scariest at the given time. Which, you know what? If you are an interdimensional being that feasts on terror, I think that's the rational approach to gender. But yeah, Eggy, I don't actually eat that much meat. I don't eat mammals, specifically. I really like the novel for it, except that one scene. Yeah, me too, Tyler. I really like the novel for it, except that one scene. I think most people who read it are like, it's a great novel, except that one scene. Luckily, both of the movies took out that scene or like replaced it with like other things, which that's an adaptational change I will never complain about. Or well, the original was a mini series actually. Apparently, my sister accidentally watched some of the original miniseries when she was a kid, and she's scared of clowns because of it. I'm not scared of clowns, fortunately. They are kind of a fun aesthetic for horror-y things, though. What did Stephen King mean by this? By what? By that one scene? I know, like, one of Stephen King's tips for writing horror is if you cannot scare them, gross them out. And I think that's part of why that scene happened. I don't think that's the entire reason. I think there were other reasons that I could name why that scene happened, but I think one of them is the if you can't scare them, gross them out philosophy that he has. Right, I should be testing this survey right now. That was the whole point, to pressure myself into doing this stuff. Actually, I was going to write the exam. I just got this survey just now, but I should test it. Okay, I'm going to time myself taking this survey, and we're going to read the consent. Well, I'm going to read the consent form. You don't have to read the consent form, especially because there's potentially doxable information in there. Let's see. I guess I can read the bits that aren't doxable. Let's go. Thank you for your interest. In this study, you'll be asked questions about your consumption of coffee. Oh, I got to stop the timer already. I already have feedback for these students. Hey, Sparky, how you doing? They're studying consumption of caffeinated drinks, not just coffee. Whoa, suffering that can be compounded with mine sounds like a good time. Hey, Uesugi Sagan, how you doing? Oops, they don't get an F. This is ungraded. This is just a feedback stage. Kids asking all these questions. I know, right? I'm on a long drive, so mildly bored. Ooh, I love long drives, though. I haven't been on a long drive in a while, but yeah, they can get pretty boring for a bit there. All right, your participation will take approximately 10 minutes. I'll be the judge of that. Your participation in this research is voluntary. Your decision whether or not to participate will not affect your current and future relationships with the university. I'm waiting at the airport. Jeez, y'all are traveling. That's wild. I hope that you're going somewhere fun, or, like, returning somewhere comfortable. Bushi be breaking his head over break-ins, working on criminal procedure. Oh, you're Bushi! I should have made the connection between somebody with Uesugi as their name and Bushi. Like, I made it before. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. This is what happens when I'm on hiatus. You're on a fishing boat, Eggy? Why is everybody in such interesting places? Why is everybody doing, like, transit stuff? How many modes of transportation are in the chat? We have an airplane, or waiting for an airplane. We have a boat, and we have a car. Do we have at home on the bed? Nice. Home. Nice. I do like home. Do we have anyone on the train? The only reason I don't watch Twitch on the train is because I'm worried about data. Home gang as well? Hell yeah. We love home. Okay. If you choose to discontinue your participation, simply stop responding to the survey questions and close your web browser to end the study. You have the right to leave the study at any time without penalty. To the best of our knowledge, the things you'll be doing, no more risk of harm than you'd experience in everyday life. We're not collecting direct identifiers. Confidentiality will be maintained to the degree permitted by the technology used. However, any activity on the internet presents some risk of a breach. Your participation in this online survey involves no risks greater than a person's everyday use of the internet. Risky. There are no direct benefits for your participation in this study. This research will further our understanding of how and when people interpret information. That bit is wrong. The closest thing we have to a car is one of the hypos involved in a car break-in. I think that, I'll count that. Could jury rig a dog sled real quick by attaching a dog's leash to the door? I do my unis close to home, so I always return walking. Nice. I walk a lot. Can't you just end it by closing the tab, not the whole browser? Yeah, you could close the tab and not the whole browser. Yeah, that's true. You could. That's what I usually do. Someone say jury. Yep. Hmm. Uh, Walking is great. I love walking. Maybe I'll go for a walk after this, though I've already kind of been on a walk today. But it wasn't a very long walk. I've got to get my steps in. I got to do my Pokemon Go. I still haven't used my daily incense, you know? All right, more survey testing. This study is being conducted by students as part of a class. The researchers conducting the study are blah, 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 blah. If you have any questions about the study or your part in it and or questions, concerns, or complaints about the research, you may contact the researchers by email. If you have any questions about your rights as a research subject, including questions, concerns, complaints, or to offer input, you may contact the professor supervising this research, blah, 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 blah. I hereby declare being 18 years of age or older and accept free will after having read the above paragraphs to participate in the study. Right. Walking is goated. Yeah, walking is goated. And no problem. No. Do you drink or consume caffeine? Yes, I had a chai latte earlier today, and I'm currently drinking a Dr. Pepper. Accepting free will. Yeah, I think there's a grammatical error there, but I don't know if it's worth giving them a line of feedback for that. How many cups of caffeinated drinks do you have per day? Do you have free will to leave it every time? Hopefully. When Bushi hears rights and his lawyer lizard brain turns on. Do you prefer to consume caffeine at home or at a coffee shop? I guess home is more convenient. How many cups of caffeinated drinks do you usually drink at home per day? 1. How many cups of caffeinated drinks do you usually drink in a social setting? Up. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and then feedback. We're doing the feedback. Drinking coffee is not a social activity. Yeah. The purpose of the study that they're doing, they're mostly interested on whether being in the presence of others influences how much you consume. Like, are you more likely to drink more coffee if you're out in public than if you're at home, or vice versa? I only drink coffee in social settings. See, that's exactly the type of thing that they're trying to get at, Ilgaz. That's the type of thing that they're interested in. That reminds me, yesterday, someone had one of those boxes of coffee from Dunkin' that they had spare from an event, and I was just tempted to steal the whole box. It's a false dichotomy, but they're not treating it necessarily as a dichotomy. Like, where do you prefer to drink it is a bit of a dichotomy, but I feel the stress from social situations causes me to eat less. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that they're getting at. They're not sure. I think they're predicting, like, I only drink coffee when it's free coffee. See, for me, like, I could see it go either way. Like, maybe people drink more caffeinated beverages at home because they feel more comfortable and less like they're engaging in less self-monitoring, so they're maybe not even aware how many cups they're drinking at home. And also, like, they bought the coffee supplies all at once. They can make multiple coffees from it. But at home, like, outside, like, if you're in a social setting, especially, like, I'm thinking about when I go to, like, coffee shops and stuff. It's okay, Torg, I don't drink coffee either. I drink chai and stuff like that. But earlier, like I told you earlier today, I was at a coffee shop and I was working there. Hey, Comey, how you doing? I was working at a coffee shop and I felt like I couldn't stay there because I had finished my latte, right? I'd finished my chai latte, so I felt like I had to leave. So I could also see the argument that people actually drink more in a social setting, or at least in, like, coffee shops or something, to justify their presence, Is it only caffeinated beverages, or is it any caffeinated item? It's caffeinated beverages specifically. I don't know why they chose to focus on that, but that's what they chose. I feel like this is pretty difficult to control for correlates between social situations and the type and quantity of available food. I also agree that that's the case. But this is like the first experiment that these students have ever designed. They're undergrads, so like I'm not expecting it to be absolutely perfect. I'm not in fact, I discourage them from measuring too many variables because they have to analyze the data themselves, and I wanted to keep it simple. I told them for the next project, for this project, they were only allowed one independent variable and no covariates. They could only do one IV, no covariates, and one DV. For the next study, they'll be allowed to have more than one independent variable, or like an independent variable and a moderator. And for that, maybe they could take into account, like, is the food free or is the food paid? And like, how much choice do I have over the food, or anything like that? They can account for more variables in the next project. That reminds me of one time where I had a 2 a.m. intrusive thought to eat instant coffee and just use the water to wash it. I'm pretty sure I've done that with hot chocolate mix, Mushi. You should accept only perfection. I don't think there isn't such a thing as a perfect research study, right? I don't think it's possible to create a perfect research study. I don't think that exists. Right, how many cups of caffeinated drinks do you usually drink in a social setting? One. At least the hot chocolate mix wasn't bitter. I guess it depends on the type. But yeah, I hate coffee. I can't drink coffee. On average, if you go to a coffee shop, how many hours do you work there per week? Oh, they're including a lot of potential covariates in here. I usually only spend about 1 hour at a coffee shop per week. Would you count a caffeinated drink if you eat the instant coffee? That's a great question. These are questions I should ask them. Hot chocolate mix is the best pixie stick twerk. I would not recommend. But it is kind of tasty on its own. Actually, I bet you could sprinkle hot chocolate mix as like a topping on a cake or something, and it would actually taste pretty good. Not gonna lie, I bet that feels like actually kind of a good idea. Maybe I should try that. On average, if you work from home, how many hours do you work there per week? Like, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours from home per week? Do you feel any social pressure or encouragement to drink more caffeinated beverages when you're in a coffee shop environment? Yes. Does the convenience of having caffeinated beverages made for you as opposed to making it yourself at home affect how much you drink? Yes. Civilian, what's that mysterious powder on the table? Officer, I swear it's hot chocolate mix. I swear, if any, like, officer ever searches my home, the chances are very high that any powder they see is like hot chocolate mix, or like that powdered stuff that you get at the bottom of like dry, like instant rice boxes, or like crumbs that have just been crushed. Like it's some food product of like sad origin. Or just dust. I really need to dust. I'm in severe need of dusting. You tend to drink more white hot chocolate mix. That sounds really good. You know, my local coffee shop actually made me a orange white hot chocolate once, and it was one of the most delicious beverages I've ever had. It was like a white hot chocolate with like orange flavoring in there, and it tasted like a freaking creamsicle. It was incredible. I do have white hot chocolate a while back. It looked genuinely abominable, but tasted good, right? It tastes so good. Funnily enough, I don't feel pressure in coffee shops. Sometimes I don't drink coffee if my main friends are drinking when we hang out. That's fair. I always feel like I have to buy something if I'm taking up space at a coffee shop. And that could just be a food product, but Mylan, stop, I'm craving hot cocoa. Sorry. I'm not, because it's hot outside. Food product with sad origin sounds like a Fall Out Boy song. They should write that song. It would become my anthem. My friend thinks enjoying a strong, bitter flavors makes me a psychopath. Oh, I don't understand people who like bitter flavors, but like, also, I'm a super taster, so maybe like if my tongue wasn't so sensitive to bitter flavors specifically, maybe that wouldn't be an issue for me. Maybe I'd even like them. You tend to drink more caffeinated beverages when we're friends versus alone. Alone. You're a super taster? I am a super taster. I'm a really, really strong super taster, too. It's awful. That's part of why I'm a pretty picky eater. Like, you know how, like, in high school bio, we did the super taster test. Like, they had 5 students come up to the front of the room and, like, put those, like, taster test strips in their mouths. And, like, most of the other students who came up, I think 3 out of 5, weren't super tasters, so they're just like, it's just paper. One of them was a super taster and was just like, ew. And like, I just ended up gagging. I gagged. It was so bad. Unfortunately, Like, it's pretty intense. I started drinking coffee black because I got lazy to mix sugar and cream, so I thought we've been doing that for 5 years. That's powerful. All of us beer enjoyers, we were secretly pretending to like beer. That's what I suspect. See, this is my thing about beer. How many professions does this Mothman have? A super taster is not a profession. It's like it's a fancy name for like just some genetic variation in like your ability to taste a certain thing. I don't remember the details. Fi could probably explain it better than me. But it's like it's some genetic or something variation in your ability to taste a certain thing, which means that because I can taste this certain thing, certain foods taste way worse to me than they would to a lot of other people. But I think it also makes it easier for me to detect certain types of poisons. I think beer tastes bad, but all the social pressure forces us to like it. At least that's how it happened for me. Like, everybody tells me that beer is an acquired taste, and I'm like, well, then I'll just not acquire the taste. Like, I'm not gonna bother if it's an acquired taste. Like, I get why some people do, but that's just not a thing I'm gonna do. You spend most of your time throughout the day at home or outside of home? At home. Do you prefer working in the presence of other people rather than the comfort of your home? No, I prefer to work at home. Not a beer fan, cocktails are much better. Understandable. I think if I drank alcohol, I would be leaning more towards that kind of thing. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us regarding the topic of the survey? I don't remember. Did we have the durian pastries together? My partner tried the durian pastries. I do not believe that I tried a durian pastry, but my partner tried a durian pastry when we were hanging out. I think. Or no. I think they tried to order the durian pastry, but they were out, right? I think. Yeah, I've never tried any durian. I don't even know what it smells like. What's my age? It makes sense. I think you might have died right there. Probably. Wait, is durian particularly bad for super tasters? Is that a thing? That's distressing. Only other thing. If you don't know what it smells like, then we did not order it. Okay. Yeah, I think it must have been. I know that my partner definitely really wanted to order it, so I'm pretty sure it was just they were just out of it then. That must have been it. Because she and Toxo, I think Toxo was also really excited to try, like, order some. I don't know if that was like because she wanted to see the reaction or what. Smells like really bad feet is a good way to describe it. I know, I was excited to eat some. Oh, that was you. Oh, that was you that was excited to eat some. Tastes kind of like custard. I love custard. I want to try some now. I wonder if I can find, like, durian pastry. The comments box to the end of the survey. Banana onion custard? That actually sounds really good. I love banana. I love onions. Now I want to see if there's anywhere I can get, like, durian stuff in my area. It's supposed to... I suppose it's not bitter, so you might be okay. They're the common picture of dim sum if you're looking for a durian place. There's a dim sum place that I know about. Maybe they have some durian stuff. I don't remember seeing it on the menu, but I just wasn't paying attention all that much. Wonder where I can get some. I didn't know you're so ecstatic about durian. I'm just curious. I think there are things to enjoy about beer flavors, especially the less common varieties of beer like porter. Have you had fresh ones? I just want to know if there's a place near me that sells them. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, well, either way, I am done with testing out the survey, so now I should start writing that exam. I think that's my next, or, well, finish writing that exam, rather. Look for Asian dessert places. Yeah, I think there's a couple near me. There's a couple, like, when I say near me, I'm talking really broadly. They're not, like, super close to me. Menu. I've had frozen durian. Don't think they grow here where I am. Yeah, I don't know where they would grow them. Let's see, does this place have some? Fresh in Asia. Ooh. Interesting. Would durian be considered sweet then? 10 minutes, but how much time did we spend distracting you? A fair amount. But I ended up like I was pausing and unpausing the timer, and it ended up being taking me about 4 minutes or so total. What's a steam twisted roll? What's that got in there? I don't know. Steam sponge. Oh, they're out of coconut cake. They're out of custard buns. They're out of red bean paste. I'm not seeing durian on here, but all those sound good and I want them, but they're out. Nothing beats fresh durian, especially the bitter ones. No bitter! No bitter! I hate bitter. Bitter is bad. What about the savory? Would it be? I don't know why it would be. Soupy dump? I want. Shrimp. All these things sound good, but a lot of the things they have are out of stock, which is a darn shame. Apparently it's native to Borneo, Sumatra, and Malay Peninsula. Ooh. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. How have you, have you done this to me? Now I'm hungry. But yeah, it looks like they don't have that, unfortunately. At least the one that's close to me. If you ever get a chance to eat fresh durian, ask for red prawns. Those are the sweet species. Ooh, all right. I'm taking a note. I'm taking notes. Okay. Writing an exam. I've got to write the exam. Where am I? Where am I? Write the exam. Write an exam. You know, writing exams is my least favorite part of my job. I hate writing exams so much. I was talking with a coworker earlier today, and like we were talking about like how to deal with exams, and he was talking about like the possibility of doing oral exams, and like that sounds terrible, but also I'm actually kind of considering it. Like just not for my full class. That is not practical at all. But I'm thinking about what an oral exam in the classes I teach would look like. Imagine an oral exam in statistics. That sounds actually horrible. That sounds like the most miserable thing that a human being could experience. Aren't you supposed to use the same exam and change the numbers? Yeah, that's one thing you can do. Yeah. Like I right now I'm writing a multiple choice exam. At least oral exam for a trial class is simple. A trial? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm writing a multiple choice exam right now because I'm teaching a really big lecture class and I only have one teaching assistant for it. So grading like short answer in a reasonable time period is just not a realistic thing to do, you know? But I hate writing multiple choice exams. Multiple choice exams are really hard to write, especially like coming up with wrong answers. That's a hard thing to do. My uni apparently now requires a 10-minute video about our dissertations to prove we didn't just AI everything. That's a rough thing that we have to deal with these days in teaching. Like lately for my lab class, I've started making it so, like my students do presentation, but these days I'm having students all do individual presentations of their projects. So that way I know if they actually understand the project as opposed to, you know, they just AI'd the whole thing or just like relied on their group mates to do the whole thing for them. Yeah, this is a 50 question test. Sometimes I killed him. Good job, Eggie. It's literally my final for my trial advocacy. We get pitted against students from different sections and litigate against them. That's wild. But yeah, like sometimes, for wrong answers, sometimes Astral, that's evil, and I have considered doing it, but I'm not that evil yet. Sometimes I do stuff like that by accident, though. But like for some stuff, I'll just put the word egg as like a filler answer, so there are 4 possible answers, but one of them is obviously wrong. And then other times I'll make up a fake term. Like one of the fake answers, the distractor answers for one of my questions is Sergei's phenomenon, which to my knowledge is not a real thing. Or Gentray is another one that I made up. And like I'm hoping that they sound like real psychological phenomenon, but I just completely made them up. So like that's one of my more fun things to do to create wrong answers, but I don't know if it's a very effective wrong answer, so I only like do max one of the completely made up things per question. And then the other ones are like, this is a distinct concept that's in the same realm. I want to make sure that you know that it is different than the thing that I'm testing you on, kind of deal. But yeah, I use the word egg a lot if I have nothing else to put there. I don't get why multiple choice questions usually don't have a second best answer that's worth half a mark. Um, it's hard to set up. Like, I can do that, and I have actually done that a little bit in the past, where, like, let's say I wrote a question badly, and a student is like, hey, I'm not sure what the answer is, and I noticed that, like, one of the answers that I intended to be incorrect, honestly, you could make a good argument for why it is correct. Like, it's obviously not the best answer, but it's still a pretty good answer. And in that case, I will go in and I will edit things and I'll make it so like some answers that aren't completely correct are worth partial credit. Wouldn't that just bring ambiguity? Yeah, guys, that's why I try and avoid it. Because like the more ambiguity there is, the harder the test becomes, and also the more it opens you up to students being confused about why one answer is wrong and stuff like that, and like it's more likely to get people like disputing grades and stuff like that. And like also it feels like doing a trick question, and I don't like trick questions. I really hate trick questions. I don't want to do trick questions. I don't want to have like trick answers. I want there to be one solid clear answer, and I want to be able to justify why that is the only answer that works. Yeah, grade disputes suck so bad. They suck for everybody involved. They're just a miserable time overall. So, like, logistically, it's a lot easier if there's only one correct answer. And also, like, in terms of, like, grade disputes and also student stress and, like, just answering questions and grading exams. But also, I think that having, like, trick questions where like there's two good answers that both seem right, but one is the so-called better answer. I just feel like that's kind of mean. For legal subjects, we sometimes have a close second answer, but that's because there's like an earlier legal issue that should have cut off the legal conflict earlier. That makes sense. I love disputing my grades. I managed to get lots of points up. Elgaz, I fear you. I fear you. Trick questions is dishonorable. It feels dishonorable, and it feels kind of beside the point. It feels a little beside the point, if that makes sense. I don't, because like the point of exams is to test your knowledge, right? It's to test your knowledge. And like if you're intentionally trying to trick somebody and steer them away from the correct answer, that doesn't feel like you're testing their knowledge anymore. Dishonor is demand a duel for your honor. I wonder if I'd be allowed to duel my students. I'm certain I would not be allowed to. Let's see. I have an attitude that durian is a... I have a slight negative attitude about eating durian because I think it smells bad. How reliably will my attitude about durian... I try and avoid negated questions on multiple choice. Don't worry, Comey. I try and avoid it whenever possible. Like, my goal is to make the question as simple as possible. Or, like, well, not as simple as possible, but, you know, like, as clear as possible so that I'm testing knowledge and not, like, other things, you know? I don't want noise in there. I want a valid measure of how much they understand the material, and I don't want to introduce noise in there as much as possible, so I try and make them clear. If any of your students are here, wouldn't they have an advantage? I'm not going to tell you what the correct answer is. And also, I've already written almost this entire exam. I've written 43 questions out of 50 for this exam, so it wouldn't may have a major impact. How can you actually ask? Have you actually asked if you can duel, or are you just assuming? I guess I'm just assuming, but I also don't want to ask if I can duel. I don't want to duel. I don't want to duel my students. I think most of them could beat me in a duel pretty easily. Good luck to any of the students of Dr. Aikman. I'm hoping they won't need good luck. I think if they study and like sort of engage with the material, I don't think that they should have too much trouble on this exam. I think it should be fine. How reliably will my attitude about durian predict my actual eating behavior? If my negative attitude will mean that I will never eat durian. Negative attitude blah 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 blah. My keyboard is so satisfying to hear the clickies. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Clicky, clicky. Such a satisfying voice. What kind of keyboard do I have? I don't know. I don't know. It's just a cheap keyboard. It's not fancy in any way, shape, or form. It's just a basic keyboard. It's not like full on like generic, but it is pretty generic. It doesn't have any like special lighting. There's no like pretty keycaps or anything. It's just like this type of keyboard you could find like anywhere. You could find it in a whatever big box store that happens to sell some computer bits. Like it's not fancy at all. Mm-hmm. Is it Techwear Phantom? No. No. Let's see. The the brand is called Inland? Inland, I think? I got it from... Yeah, it's called Inland, but it's like their most basic one. It's like their most basic keyboard, I think. Well, I don't know if it's their most basic, but it's pretty darn basic. Like, it was it was pretty cheap, which is good. I've got to get cheap keyboards because I have a bad habit of breaking my keyboards. I am I have a strong tendency to break my keyboards. I cannot tell you how many keyboards I have broken in my lifetime, or even in the past 2 years. Like it's bad. So I think it's less than $10. How do you just smash the keycaps in? I guess. I like a lot of the time, I think it's a combination of like I type really aggressively and also I tend to eat well in front of my keyboard. So I think like both stuff gets stuck in the keyboard, which is a big problem for laptops because you can't repair them as easily as you could just a plain like a desktop keyboard. And then also I type really aggressively and I get crumbs in my keyboard. So a lot of the time I'll get keys that just stop working or get stuck or otherwise. And like sometimes I can fix them, other times I can't fix them. Sometimes I break them while I'm trying to fix them. It's I've never broken a keyboard, but earbuds just seem to die on contact. That's unfortunate. I thought you said you were eating the keyboard. Tempting. Tempting. That can be how I enact my revenge upon keyboard kind. I will eat any keyboard that spites me. Hmm. I feel like this is a badly written question. I'll have to come back to it. All right, what other questions do I want to ask on this exam? There are many, many questions. What are you doing to your keyboard? Many things. Oh, Fi is asking about Umas. Uh, 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 Hans. Fi, you think you can stop me? You think you can stop You fool! You fool! You absolute fool! No, I have more. Wait, come back, Fi. Come back, Fi. I have more horse. I have more horse. Oh my god. I have a problem. Daiwa Scarlet. Was Daiwa Scarlet 2 star? She is 2 stars. That's right. Daiwa Scarlet is 2 stars. For some reason, my brain, I thought she was a 1 star. You're so right. You're so right. Who else? The Uma Wiki is weirdly hard to navigate. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I'm sorry, Aggie, that I forgot Daiwa Scarlet. I'm just mad at her because she annoys me. Now we're talking about Uma Musume. Oops. Let's see. And what is the psych VTuber working on right now? Hey, Charles, how you doing? How you doing? I am currently writing an exam for my class. And I'm struggling to come up with questions. I need to write 6 more questions, and I have no brain left to do it. Oh my heavens, that reminds me of when my friend mentioned the word oguri, and just the word oguri, and I went zooming across the lecture hall to seize him by the shoulders and ask him if he was talking about Uma. Was he? Tell me about Air Groove. Air Groove, I love Air Groove solely because the little tips of her ears are so cute and floofy. They're so floofy. I'm reading Reality Plus. Oh, yes, yes. Ask him about the trolley problem. I can talk about the trolley problem. Do you like haunts? Yes. No. Haunts. Egg. I know for a fact that I have at least one student in my social psychology class who is big into Uma Musume and is planning on cosplaying one of the horses. He was. Nice. Nice. But yeah, one of the students in the class that's going to be taking this exam is going to cosplay from Uma Musume, or at least intends to, so. I have one question here. I like to include references to fictional media and stuff that I like in my exams, and like for the students that aren't familiar with the media, it's just a normal exam question, but for the students that are into the media, they get really excited about it. And I definitely have at least 2 questions in here where I used Uma Musume characters in the questions. I had to be creative about how I said their names so that they actually sounded like proper names. I have one question talking about Agnes Tachyon, except I just called her Agnes. Basically how your statistics, they do it on the test, basically how your statistics streams work. Kinda. A little bit like that, yeah. Well, most of the questions are not like that, though. What else? I also have, like, I have a Haikyuu reference in here. I have a Pokemon reference in here. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have a Nimi reference in here. That's Harurara. I have 2. I have an Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint reference in here. I have a K-pop Demon Hunters reference. I have a Howl's Moving Castle reference. I really need to consume more Western media. Should just share the whole test. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Because then I would have to write a whole nother test, and I do not like writing these tests. I hate writing these tests. This is how I cope, is by including these silly little references in here. That's how I cope. What else? I think I kind of ran out. Oh, I have a Walking Dead reference in there. I've never watched or read anything Walking Dead, but I have a Walking Dead reference in here. Better Call Saul reference. I don't know enough about Better Call Saul to make a reference in there. I'm trying to think of, like, what other popular media. I don't know enough about Breaking Bad. I watched the first episode of Breaking Bad, and I could not handle it. It just made me really sad. It just made me really, really sad. Oh, you're right! Gold Ship asked, or Eggy, how could I forget Gold Ship? I'm so mad at myself. My criminal procedure professor names all the witnesses, suspects Simpson's names, and he's the dean. I love that. It's time to be brave and include V theorem references. I'm tempted, Fi. I'm tempted. I was considering doing that. And I've definitely considered it in the past, but I was wondering if you would be okay with me including V theorem references in here. Rick and Morty. I've never really watched much Rick and Morty either. I'm sorry. I am, as my mother puts it, I am culturally deprived. I'm culturally deprived. I do not know a lot of pop culture. But yeah, I mean, fine, you're okay. I actually don't know how I feel about it right now. I said it as a joke. It's a dangerous joke to make, fine. I'd be happy to write you into one of my exams. Maybe you're more alpha Chad than me, maybe. Some streamers do a partner push, Mylan does a weeb push. It's true. It's true. This is how I roll. Let's see. Which psychological construct explains, or tries to explain why behavior influences attitudes? I wonder if you can sneak a hui in there. Maybe. Is it pronounced hui? Hue? I always thought it hui. Something you need a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. I don't want to watch Rick and Morty. It's not my type of humor. Hui. Hui. They already have egg. It's true. I have egg. I have egg. That's my thing. Alright, I need to come up with a name of a completely fake psychological construct as an option. Let's see, what's something that sounds real academic? Wilton's Law. There, perfect. Wilton's Law. And if anyone asks me what Wilton's Law is, I can say I don't freaking know. First 2 or 3 seasons are decent, I stopped watching after that. Fair. Fair. Let's see. Neutrophil hypothesis. I can do that. That's a good one. The phylum hypothesis. The syzygy hypothesis. The Nepenthes hypothesis. Let's see. I think I might have to go back to other things, other lectures, and see. Let's go back to this one. What am I doing? What am I doing? Which of the following is an example of this? Mothman's Law. I love it. Mothman's Law. I love how the term cat's test sounds so innocuous, and it's a test to see if police violated your reasonable expectation of privacy. That, I feel like that test gets failed a lot. That is my general belief. Okay, let me see. I need to come up with some fake names. Fake names. Why not Tyler? Tyler hangs out with Cheris. Sorry. Your name's right there. Your name's right there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's another name that I could potentially put in here? Usually I use a random name generator. I do that a lot. Uh-oh. Hey! Eggy. Eggy. Alright, Eggy can go in here. Oh, but I worry that that would confuse people because, like, I always tell my students the real answer is not egg. Then I just need to make Eggy part of one of the wrong answers. Okay. Eggy, Aggie does fan art for Comey. Sure. What about the dairy principle? Oh, I wonder. Maybe that would work. I'm glad I can have such an impact in your life. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Now all my students will know. Um. Um. Hmm. You're now obligated to make Comey fan art again. You have no such obligation. Hmm. Uh, Myth Run relies on Kabru for um, help managing his physical health. And then Justice Burger's the real title of Supreme Court Justice and sounds like a limited. There's a researcher whose last name is Burger who we talked about in class. He created a different version of the Milgram study that actually holds up to modern ethics, and he's like the only researcher that I've never met or really read too much whose name I remember, just because it's like Dr. Berger did the Milgram study, and it makes me so happy every time. Every time. Um, let's see. I have had great professor names, but they would dox my uni, right? I gotta be careful. For a while there, though, I was collecting, like, psychologist names that had interesting names. Like, there's this one guy who studies political conflict and political misinformation, and his last name is Vitriol, which I think is incredible. And that's not doxing me, because, like, he's not at my university or anything. The Comey Can't Communicate fans will love. It's true. It's true, they will. Maybe rather than Aggie, I should do the name of one of the characters in there, Dr. Berger and Dr. Acula. Let's see. Okay, I need one more fake answer. Let's see. Let me edit this one a bit to be a clearer, correct answer. And then one more fake answer for this question. I'm gonna fall on the floor and sleep forever. Not forever. Like 2 hours. It's hard coming up with questions and fake answers. Egg. No, I should do a serious one, like a serious fake answer on here. Mr. Kitty. What fictional media are we into today? What are the kids? What is hip with the kids in recent years? I don't know what's hip with the kids anymore. I have become old and decrepit and ignorant of many things in my advanced age. Haunts. Yeah, but I've already done Haunts stuff. What? Skibbity Toilet? If I really want to do some, like... I need to be more familiar with Skibbity Toilet lore. You know what? I can go back to my Minecraft YouTubers. I can go to my Minecraft YouTubers. Yeah. I work in a primary school. Believe me, you don't know. You don't want to know. Fair. I don't. I can ask my partner, though. FNAF has quite a few characters. I need to know more about FNAF. Is anyone willing to, like, info dump on me about FNAF? I would gladly listen to you info dump on me about FNAF. Astral, please. Okay, the Zeit of 2024, right? I know FNAF up until the latest game. I know nothing about FNAF. What are some FNAF characters that I could potentially, do? Like, ask a question about. Mr. FNAF. Okay. That sounds like a great, valid character. Mr. FNAF. Um, Mr. FNAF. William Afton is a big character in the lore. Is that the original owner of the thing? I've, like, watched video essays on FNAF, but I've forgotten everything that I learned. Yes, I watch video essays on games I have not played, because why not? I think it's William Afton is Mr. FNAF. Ah, I see. Mr. FNAF is a funner name, though. William Afton. Springtrap is the most popular character. Oh, that's the fox, pirate fox guy, right? Right? William Afton has, let's see, is about to, let's see. That's Foxy. Springtrap is William. Oh no, wait, that one. The one with the one. Yeah, the one with the stuff and the ears and the. I know what you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I just. The yellow rabbit. Yeah. That's what. Yeah, the ears. The one with the ears. Rabbits have ears. You know? You know? I'm so correct on all things. I am 100% accurate and wise. And I know the lore. I think most of them have ears. Yeah, but... Well... There's ears and then there's ears. I think your eye bags are getting heavier. Maybe. You've been wondering why I've been on hiatus. It's because this is how I've been for the past month and a half. That's like, I know I'm always like this to an extent, but like it's been more. It's been more. Not to be confused with the purple blue rabbit, which probably hasn't killed. How many rabbits are there? Why are there so many rabbits? Are rabbits like a horror staple? Rabbits aren't a horror staple, right? The scariest rabbit I can think of is the killer bunny from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's a pretty scary rabbit. I'm sad they removed that from Minecraft. They dropped the new update on Minecraft a few days ago. I've been updating my world. I've been wondering, like, I have a capture card, but unfortunately my PlayStation's really far from my PC. I'll need to get, like, the longest HDMI cable known to man, but I really want to show you all around my Minecraft world. The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. One of those made from... What? What? What is happening? I don't understand. I need to watch more FNAF video essays. Killer Bunny is removed. That's news to me. Yeah, it's, yeah, 5 Minecraft. The server collected us. I'm sorry. That's on me. Well, it's partially on me. But I want to show you all, like, the Minecraft world that I've been working on for a few years now. I think it's cool, and I want to show it off someday. But yeah, I think the Killer Bunny you can still summon it in, but it doesn't spawn in survival. At least to my knowledge. Which couple? Sort of. There's sort of a V-Theorem Minecraft server, and also sort of not. Like, we were playing on a Minecraft server together for a while there. Remember that one time I was digging a giant hole on the Minecraft server, and I was hoping that Fi would fall into it and die? Did he? I don't remember if he fell into it, but I think he might have survived, and I was sorely disappointed. I did fly into it and died. Oh, good, okay. It served its purpose. That's a joke, that wasn't its purpose. I had an idol. Right, right. You had a freaking totem. Dang it. So you kind of did and kind of didn't. It kind of. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll have to. I never finished digging it to bedrock, but one day I will dig a hole to bedrock on a VTheorem or like on a Minecraft server where Phi is also there. And one day I will get him to fall all the way to bedrock. This is my new goal. This is my goal as a VTuber. I love digging in Minecraft. Me too, Eggy. I think in every single world that I've ever like done long term, I have dug a giant hole, at least a chunk big, usually bigger than that, to bedrock. Just because like that's how I cope with stress. I cope with stress by digging holes to bedrock in Minecraft. Bring it on. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's make freaking do it. Mm. All right, I need like fictional couple names. Let's see. Who are some fictional couples? Open pit mining time. Hell yeah. Chill mining stream. I would love that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mongolian deathworm model for the whole team. Smart. Smart. I do have a cryptid that I'm planning. Digging holes sounds like diamond gotcha a little bit. It's not a very effective way to get a lot of diamonds. It's a co-op game about digging a hole. That sounds, yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty ideal, I'm not gonna lie. I do yearn for the mines. In fact, right after this, I'm probably gonna go and play some more Minecraft and dig some more holes. What was I doing? Right, I need to come up with fictional couples. Who are those two Muppets? Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie. Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta. Oh boy. Bert and Ernie. My OTP. Love it. Love it. A game about digging a hole is a good game. I've seen that. I want to try it out sometime. I think I need to finish the current outfit that I'm working on, and then we can play all the games about digging holes and stuff. It's not a cryptid that digs, really, but it is associated with the earth and ground, and therefore I would love to complete that outfit and then use it for things like Minecraft and a game about digging a hole and stuff. Mylon is a miner. I like digging. What can I say? I like digging. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go play Hades now. Good luck with test making. Thank you. Have fun playing Hades. Good luck. Good luck. Don't die too much. All right, let's see what else. What am I doing? What? I've forgotten what I was doing. Fictional couples. Mylon is the real M. What do you help? Why not? Steve and Alex. And one more. How chibi Mai looks like? That's a good question. Like when I was a kid or just like in chibi form? That's a good question. I should draw myself when I was a kid. You should have seen like my baby feathers before my proper adult feathers came in. I was real floofy. I was so floofy. But I was also shedding feathers everywhere. My parents were always scolding me for shedding all my feathers everywhere. Let's see, I need one more fictional couple. I need to finish justifying this fictional police search, so I'll probably head out now. Oh, good luck! Good luck, Bushi! Have a wonderful day! Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a great day. Bob and Linda. Perfect! Thank you. Bob and Linda. who do not have preen once in a while. I'm sorry, I'm bad at preening. It's not something that I'm very good at. My feather, as you can see, some of my feathers are bent. They're kind of a mess. I really need to get better at taking care of them, or at least, like, find a good, like, salon that does preening. But, I've been lazy, and also I don't want to pay for that, but also I don't really trust myself to preen the feathers in the back of my head, you know? It's kind of, I can't reach there really well, and I can preen the feathers on the front of my head just fine, but the back, not so much. So I end up procrastinating. It's kind of bad. My feathers are gonna fall out even more because I just don't take good care of them. Alright, Bob and Linda are now in the exam. Let's see. Um... Alright, who else? Other characters that I could put here. Or I could just, like, start... I feel you, my feathers are a disaster to groom. Right, Eggy? It's such a pain in the butt. And then, like, sometimes there's a feather that's, like, bent and broken, but it's still, like, connected to you, and you have to pull it out, and it really hurts. It really hurts. I don't like it at all. Ugh. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Um... Why is this so hard? Fictional media. Okay. I just shaved my feathers off, Baldy. Come me, please. I know when new feathers grow in, you have to unfurl them. Right? It's such a pain in the butt. Such a pain in the butt. But please don't shave your feathers off. It is really funny to me that bald eagles actually just have feathers all over their heads, but then you have like vultures who are truly bald, but are not called bald. Like, how is that fair? How is that fair? We need to justice for bald eagles. They are not bald. There are birds that are bald, but we do not call them bald. And then finally, one more. Uh, um, maybe, oh no, shoot. My students were joking about me potentially putting a certain question on the exam as an extra credit point, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Isn't the famous bald eagle screech not a bald eagle because it was a really weird sounding one? I don't actually know. I want everybody to tell me their favorite bird calls, by the way. Like, my favorite one is a loon. I really love how loons sound. I would love to make a loon-themed outfit, actually, now that I think about it. Loons aren't a cryptid, but they might as well be, to be honest. There's another really cute bird sound. Loons are so cool. I love loons. I mean, they're kind of like, I feel bad for them. But California condor is a favorite bird. California condors look so cool. I've seen some before. They are really neat. I want one to pierce my ear. Aggie, are you okay? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. I want one to pierce my eardrums. I already read that. What am I doing? I'm trying to come up with exam questions. Let's open up a different lecture. Wait a minute. Is that where the Looney Tunes come from? Loons? I'm actually not sure. We should look up the etymology for the word loon. Loon etymology. Shortened from lunatic or from loon. Compare with the phrase crazy as a loon, referring to the bird's actions when escaping from danger. So they could be related. Interesting. I love looking up the etymology of words, because often there's like some really interesting stories. From Middle English loon, which means rascal or rogue, probably of Middle Dutch or Middle Low German origin. Compare Dutch loen for simpleton, or related to etymology too, due to the bird's loud cry. Wait, is loon due to the bird's loud cry or due to the bird's lack of survival instincts when in danger? I have so many questions that I'll have to like go on a wiki walk later or something like that to figure it out. I only have 2 more questions left for this exam. And then the other exam that I need to write, I can leave that because I've still got a considerable amount of time before I need that. Maybe both, maybe we don't know. That could be, yeah. Convergent evolution kind of deal, and now we've lost the original true origin. All right, let's do this one, maybe? Maybe there's something in here that I can... Whoa! What have I done? It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. Sorry. I scared myself. We're fine. Okay. Da 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 da. Ah. I'm gonna be self-deprecating in this exam question again. Nep's maple token dollar coins are loony. What are maple token dollar coins? Maple token dollar, is that like Canadian currency? Is that just a funny way of referring to... I'm so confused. Wearing a horse outfit. No one else is wearing a horse outfit. Bellbird. What's a bellbird? I've never heard of a bellbird. Oh, those are pretty! What? Those are pretty! Look at that little guy. Look at those guys. I don't want to lose only bellbirds. Wait, do all bellbirds have that big, like, horn thing on their... What? What is that? I'm so confused. I'll have to check that out. I'll check it out after stream. I want to finish up this exam. Why? I'm getting weird phone calls. Why do we get weird phone calls? I'm gonna fight everyone. I'm gonna bite something. Let's see. And then I'm gonna come up with another fake term. I'll just put egg here. And then I only need to write 1 more question, everybody. We're almost done. We're almost done. We are almost here. We are almost here. We're almost done. And then I'll probably end the stream. Just keep it a short stream today. Keep it a short stream today. I think that's fine. Wait. Let's see. Daryl. No, I already used a Daryl. Cole. Cole notices that whenever that he tends to fall into step with whoever he is walking with. This is an example of... Almost done, almost done. And then I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Just got to do some formatting on this. And then I have completed writing the exam. Everybody, are you proud of me? You're proud of me? Please be proud of me. I like the summer birds that have a specific chirping pattern. Do 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 do. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what birds those are, but that sounds fun. We do like birds. There's this one bird that I really like the sound of, and I cannot remember it. Good. Yes, good moth. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I should have saved this as, because this is the key. And then I save it as not the key, and then I remove the thing that says what all the answers are. And then I can do this, and then I can submit the paperwork that I have to do for the exam. I'm back. What did I miss? I just finished writing my exam. It's finished. I'm going to send it to the people who need it. And then I'm probably going to end the stream once I'm done with that bit. Or maybe I'll do the paperwork first. And then I'll send it to the people who... and then I'll end the stream, but... thank you. Oh, I forgot to check how many copies of the exam I need. Because this class didn't hit the enrollment cap this semester, so if it did, I would know exactly how many copies of the exam I needed. But because it's under cap, I don't know how many copies are necessary. Don't even know how many students you have. I know how many students I have under cap. Okay, shut up. I know how many students I have overall. I have a little over 300 students this semester, which is pretty typical. I usually have a little over 300 students per semester. That's pretty normal for me. Let's see. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I wish there was I need to find a better way other than exams. I really don't like giving exams. You could overball it so you have extra copies just in case. I'm already going to do that. I added a couple of extra copies on top of the amount that I'm requesting. Just in case. It's good to have a few extra. But you're so right, Ilkas. Just print 301. Oh no, that's across all 4 of my classes. This is only one of the classes. And then I have one more person I need to send this to. Okay, and then I'll make a note for myself to do the paperwork. I'm actually gonna do the paperwork on Monday, just in case. No worries. I'm probably not, like, explaining things as coherently as I could to all of you right now, because my brain is mush. My brain's mush. I mean, if you haven't figured that out by now, I hate to break it to you, but my brain is completely mush at the moment. I don't have thoughts. It's bird brains. It's so true. It is bird brains. We have reached peak levels of bird brain, and I am braining the way birds often do. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're okay now. I think we're all right. I think we're okay. All right. Okay, we're okay. I think. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. I think I'm done. I think I'm done for now. I think we're gonna stop for now. Uh, Thank you all for joining me on such short notice for whatever the hell this was. Moth brain, that's also true. I like moth brain. It sounds like my brain is full of like fluff and nothing else. There's just a whole bunch of like cotton balls in my skull. And when two cotton balls knock together and like create a static charge, that's when I have a thought. Continue enjoying your hiatus. Thank you. I will do my best to do so. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying my hiatus. I've just been really stressed out, but I will try and keep taking it easy. But yeah, thank you for coming to this great hiatus. Thank you. The hiatus is still ongoing. This stream didn't exist. It didn't actually happen. Thank you for the hiatus. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, take care, all of you. I'm gonna go play some Minecraft, and it looks like I also have a training that I have to do for my job. So I think I'll do the training, I'll play some Minecraft. I'll talk to you all at some unspecified point in the future. Thank you all for dropping in, and take good care of yourselves. Oh, bye-bye.